Platinum 2, Terran. Boom. I hit the button. It started. Same A move in Plat as the last leagues? Yes, it is. The difference in Platinum, okay, guys. So, Bronze to Platinum. If you guys have noticed, the differences in what we've been doing are very subtle. Very subtle. So if you're someone who's in Plat League, if you're someone who's in Bronze, Silver, Gold, any of the leagues, if you're in any of those leagues, they're all really similar. The differences are subtle. The only thing we've really changed about Platinum League that we didn't really change before is that we're actually emphasizing a bit more like a priority on scouting, and we're using that information to react to our opponent in a good way. We're like, if I see, a good example we've already done like 3 times is, we see a Protoss who makes a forged cannon wall. He's not attacking me with the cannon rush. He's defensively making cannons. When we see that kind of crap, we don't just follow the same build. We actually alter it a tad, because now we're at a point now where strategy is becoming a little bit more relevant than it was before. In like Bronze League and Silver League, no matter what my opponents did, it didn't matter. I didn't even look at their base like ever. I just looked to see, did they expand early or not? And if they didn't, I did my build as normal, you know. Nothing changed. But yeah, in Platinum League, we're starting to react a little bit to our opponents. We're paying attention to what they do. And we also scout now a little bit more than we did before. Like if you notice with my Zerg, my Overlord flies into their base now rather than going and sitting over on a fucking cliff the whole time. With Terran and Protoss, I actually scout them with a probe and an SCV now, because I'm looking for just a little bit of direction as to where their build's going. So it's a little bit different in the scouting and a little bit different in reacting to what we see. But for the most part, the actual build itself is pretty much the same. And the reason why it's pretty much the same is because we're not microing. We're doing builds that are very defensive centralized. Like they're just, you sit back, you make your stuff. It's kind of how they work. You don't have to attack, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to get all multitasking crazy. You just sit back and you macro. That's all. It's the whole idea of the build. And another thing that's really good is executing the builds I'm showing you in Bronze are going to be way easier than executing the builds I'm showing you in Platinum. So it's like the league itself is a scale to see how well you can execute the build yourself. But overall, we're literally doing the same thing every time. We're just executing a build. We're defensively macroing. So we're going to go ahead and make a Marine, making an orbital command. And we're going to start a natural. A expansion.
Move it. Yep. We'll butter my biscuit. Gangway.
Getting back into SC2 after not playing since WOL in this series has been super helpful. Thanks.
Yo, Swordfish Plays. Thank you so much for the 20. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're getting back into the game, and thank you so much for the 20, dude. Very much appreciated. Okay, what do we see? What do we see? Holy God. Whoa! Okay, so we saw, that's a core, a gate. It's looking pretty standard-ish. Nothing too crazy is happening yet. I'm not really worried, basically. Like this, if there was multiple gates, I would be more worried. But this looks like a pylon, a core, and a gate. You can tell by the size of the building. I'll teach you guys something really fast. We'll look at his base again really quick, and I'll talk about it really quickly after I build a bunker.
Big job.
Okay, so let's talk about it really quick. In his base, you have like 4 different sizes of buildings. You have extra large, you have large, you have medium, and you have small. So every race works like this. Medium buildings are cybernetics cores, Twilight Councils, Templar Archives, buildings like that. Upgrade buildings usually. A forge. Large buildings are usually production buildings like a barracks, a Stargate, things like that. A robo actually falls into the medium category. And then you have small buildings like pylons, dark shrines, cannons. And then the extra large is always only a nexus, a hatchery, or a command center. You can tell what they look like if you get used. You have to just. So that's knowledge that comes from experience. You just have to get used to it. But just know that is a thing. If you get used to the sizing of buildings, you can tell what they are without even knowing what they are. This is a tech building, and the only tech building he could physically make right now is a core. So that's a cybernetics core. And if you want to prove it just for fun, we'll scan his base one time right now. And there you go. And we see Stargate. Cool. Okay, so we didn't make engineering bay like I should have. My bad.
Our SCVs are under attack.
So we're going to make an engineering bay now. And we're going to fix this Oracle problem. He only killed 5 SCVs. That's actually not the worst. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that could have gone a lot worse than that. Could have been a lot worse.
Go ahead. SCV ready.
Let's make a third
Command center.
third on the high ground actually.
Yes. Huh? What's going on?
Get my economy all going.
SCV ready.
So we do have 3 CCs really fast. We should be actually pretty okay.
SCV ready.
These 3 CCs early will help me definitely recover.
SCV ready.
And now we have a missile turret to avoid more
Go ahead.
Oracle damage.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Ready to roll out. SCV ready. SCV ready.
So I'll make an armory so we can start going into Thor's.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
And we'll make a couple of depots here on the sides of my base.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Fueled up, ready to go. SCV ready. Yeah, SCV ready. You.
I'm gonna actually reroute this tank a little bit to like right here, so I can defend this base more realistically. Maybe unsiege it? Okay, he's not actually attacking me.
SCV ready.
Yeah, we're good.
SCV ready. What's going on? SCV
Grab extra SCVs and send them down here.
Bad
We're gonna
news.
start building that actually as well. Now I can build a few more factories.
SCV ready.
Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
And we're making Thors and Hellions again, as always. We can start another command center as well, and this could be a planetary at like one of these other bases. I took the forward base this time because I actually think the tank could defend this easier than defending this base over here. Because he has multiple gateways. I think I'll probably start doing this in general on this map. I'll probably always start taking this base as my third with an orbital. Feels easier to defend.
SCV ready.
Alright, so we're fully saturated on our bases, on our main, our natural. Our third's looking okay as well. Okay, he's actually attacking me pretty hard. Let's go ahead and lift this off and kind of run away. We can select our whole army and kind of move forward a bit.
Mineral field depleted.
SCV ready.
Why is this door stuck?
Speaker. What's that?
Maybe this tank is blocking the Thor.
Ready to race. SCV ready. some hell.
All right, so he actually killed my my 4th command center, unfortunately. So I'll just make a new one in here.
What's going on?
And we have a bunch of SCVs that are kind of chilling now, idle.
Add-on
Let's
complete.
resend them to my base over here. And let's try and kind of like retake control of this area, basically. We can also get some Infernal Preigniter and some Smart Servos, so that we can we can have a strong
Go ahead.
army against anything like Zealot based or whatever. It's good to have these upgrades pretty much all the time if you're doing this composition. We pretty much always get these.
Be ready.
Because the blue flame helps the Hellions really get rid of like Zealots, Zerglings, Hydras,
Mineral field
Marines,
depleted.
light units basically, and then the Smart Servos allows us to rotate our Thors quickly to deal with other units. Like for instance, if we're fighting against Mass Phoenix or we're fighting against a bunch of Void Rays or Carriers,
Bad news.
we can always switch the mode that seems bestly suited for the situation. I should make a coincidence right there.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and give him a scan at his natural, see what's kind of going on.
Yeah.
He's got no upgrades. Yo, hassle for me too. Thank you very much for the sub, my dude.
Thor is here.
And we're at 72 SCVs, about to be 75, so we're done. We are now done making workers. As soon as these last ones spawn.
What's going on?
Research.
SCV ready.
We can transfer some workers over here from my main to another base because it's fully saturated as well. Also,
Upgrade
because we're kind of
complete.
chilling out, we might get attacked again. We might be the one who gets attacked before we attack him, that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and react in a way where we can prepare better. Where we're getting building armor basically. We're gonna get some building armor, boys, just in case it becomes relevant.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
Okay, he just lost the Oracle. Let's go ahead and give him another scan. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, there's his army. And there's our army. Now that we have kind of control of our base, let's go ahead and move our tanks a little bit further forward.
Command center upgrade.
And let's throw down a
complete.
couple of sensor towers. We can also throw down more gas.
Roger.
Throw down another base, why not? Keep my economy rolling really healthy, really fresh. Every base is well saturated. We have 75 SCVs. This is looking good. And now that we're basically maxed out, guys. Again, we always get to this point. Now that we're maxed, we're going to at this point we're going to get ready to not only to attack him, but we're also going to get ready to go into mass production mode here, which we can do in just a second. Once my units spawn here, we can get ready to attack, and then we can go mass production mode. What's my upgrades look like? Looking good.
Go ahead.
Get a couple of orbital commands over here that are just chilling.
Job, huh?
We can do the same thing over here. Why not?
You're the boss.
Now, finally, my last couple dudes are going to spawn. Let's grab a Hellion and attack on the sides of the map. Hellion, attack on the sides of the map.
Upgrade complete.
This tells us, once again, if he's going to
Upgrade
attack me.
Complete.
Or, sorry, it gives me an idea where I want to attack him, rather. And now let's get kind of
Base
crazy.
is under attack.
Okay, there he is, right
Command
there.
center upgrade complete.
So there's base down here. So we'll go there after we deal with this. Let's go ahead and put our Hellions in Hellbat mode. Put all my Thors in high impact payload. Let's aim move towards this. Behind this, let's start going for mass factories again.
Mineral field depleted.
Go ahead. Yeah. Come and fight me.
And now I'll start making new Thors and new units every time something dies.
Base is under attack.
So we just increased our production a shitload with what we had, and our army just destroyed his. What does he have left? Not a whole lot.
Hey, Vibe digging the new paint job.
Yo.
$5 to the BC fund.
Lofty! Thank you very much, dude. Holy crap, this
Research
base is gonna die.
complete.
SCV
Mineral
count, we're down
field
by 2.
depleted.
Let's go ahead and make a couple more. And we'll restart a command center over here.
Depleted.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, we're good.
What's our
We can
target?
also start a new sensor tower over here, too. And why not start another CC as well? I think he killed one of them. For more orbital commands for later. And now look at this. Let's go ahead and add on a few more, like a couple more reactors. And then a shitload of tech labs.
Got Got any extra
Now
firepower?
we're gonna A-move this. There's a nice observer right there. Cool, it's dead. How about upgrades? Okay, we can start another upgrade, and we can also, let's just go ahead and queue up an air weapons upgrade, because maybe we'll go into BCs later in this game, if this game does not end. How's this army going? Cool. How about, is there anything around me? No? I just want to see if there's any like cloak units around me. We're good. Now look at my supply. We're focusing on macro here. Let's even drop some mules while we're at it.
Complete.
Because that's why we're making all these orbitals. Supply. We're still high. Our army actually won the fight again. Cool. We're moving the next base. Trying to generate as much money as we can and spend it as fast as we can. Let's go and grab an SCV and let's build a missile turret over here for this base. So my army looks like it's kind of bleeding out now,
Command center upgrade complete.
which is fine. But what the problem for him, my opponent, is that he's now in a situation where
Upgrade complete.
he just lost a lot of economy. He also lost a lot of army, and he's fighting me with probably every new unit he's made. He's probably really broke. Us, however, on the other hand, we're almost maxed out still because we have so many factories. We've evolved our Terran basically to be like Zerg now because we're so rich. Because we have so much fucking stuff. And it's the reason why we had the ability to do that and the time to do that is because that's all we've done. That's it.
Command center
I didn't
upgrade complete.
watch the fights. It's because I'm not watching the fights that gives us a lot of time to adjust to
Command center
upgrading our
upgrade
macro here.
Complete.
and we can keep dropping a bunch of mules. The power of the orbital command, guys.
Vespine geyser exhausted.
Alright, let's go ahead and grab my whole army again. Same thing again. Hellions and Hellbat and Thors and high impact payload. Now let's go ahead and go like this again. Shift A, Shift A, Shift A, Shift A, Shift A. And we'll let our army do its thing. We don't really have to watch it because the beautiful thing about Hellbat and Thor is that they run about the same speed as each other.
Mineral field
So they're
depleted.
gonna stick together, basically. We can also get rid of this bunker because it's and lift off this
Mineral
barracks.
field depleted.
It's kind of just, I don't really need this wall
Base is
anymore.
under attack.
It's just congesting my army a little bit. It's not really necessary at this point. Well, let's increase our command center count. Oh, look, it's attacking me.
Upgrade.
Okay, let's go ahead and
Our SCVs are under attack.
this becomes a choice. You're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to defend this or do you want to
Mineral
attack?
field depleted.
Our army's already across the map, so we should probably just attack. Because going back home with this army, it's super slow. So we'll just let it keep attacking.
Upgrade complete.
Alright, and now finally we can start preparing for in-game. Just in case somehow we don't kill this guy right now.
Mineral field depleted.
Because we might not. This might not kill him.
Oh, yeah. Mineral field depleted.
We can make some more command centers.
You scared me. Bad news, boy, is here. Yeah, come and fight me.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. How's this army doing? Scan it. Okay, we'll drop a bunch of mules. Do it on this base as soon as it's done. Drop some mules now.
We could use some help here.
So his army looks like it's kind of geared better than mine to deal with what I'm
Mineral
doing.
field depleted.
So we're gonna try here for this next attack to hopefully not die. Basically, we're gonna try and hold this next push,
Command
but
center
we're making the
upgrade
same army again just for
complete.
this next push once again because we've already committed to it really hard. Grab some SCVs and put them over here. It's all good.
You're the boss. Go ahead. Tell that coming through.
Mineral field depleted.
And there's our army. Let's pull some SCVs and let's just hope for the best. Because this is kind of it, guys. This is it.
Command center upgrade complete. Base.
So we can make some new SCVs because we're spinning them, and we're still constantly making units the whole time as well.
Hell that, coming through. SCV ready.
Mineral field.
High impact payload on the Thors.
Command upgrade complete.
We might be dead. These immortals are doing work right now.
Hell that, coming
So he ended up actually breaking me before I was at that point where we were ready. So we're most likely gonna die right now.
Base is under attack.
I hear you.
But we're still just macroing as much as we can.
Story.
Grab some more mules. Because we can totally do that.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
I'm going. Big job.
I'm making another base over here.
Roger.
His army's starting to get kind of spread out around my base, which is it's actually giving us a chance. Because he's busy killing my beefy ass base here that I have so much of right now.
Mineral field
Maybe
depleted.
we get an army that holds. Probably not, but maybe.
Well, butter my biscuit.
But his base is this is pretty much it. Probably, guys. He probably has nothing.
SCVs
He's
are
probably
under attack.
very all in right now.
I hear you. Done and... Ah! You scared me!
Grab some SCVs and
Base is under attack.
mine some more gas.
Talk to me. Here we go. Huh? Hell back. Coming through. I hear is here.
So we can rotate some command centers around again.
Base is under attack.
Alright, we're gonna go for it once again. We're gonna aim move towards him. We're gonna repair this, maybe. No, it's gonna die so fast. These immortals are just like they're really strong at the moment. We can scan it, and we'll aim move it, and once again we're gonna hope for the best. We're not gonna focus on micro. Whatever happens, happens, boys. Is this gonna win or is it gonna lose? Looks like it's gonna lose. Alright, GG. So it happens. Sometimes, guys. Sometimes it happens. Can't get too mad about it. It's part of the game. You're really in Platinum League. I'm not gonna say there's a lot of things you need to do there. All you gotta do is you gotta focus on the build. And if it happens to not work, sometimes that shit happens. Is that the first loss? No, that's the second time I've lost. That's kind of what Immortals do, though. If you guys are wondering, ViBE, how the fuck did you lose that? It's because the Immortals are very strong against mech, against armored. But the point of this series, I actually read Reddit last night, and I think a lot of people's opinions on this is really hilarious.
SCV ready.
The point of this series is not to be like, guys, let me stroke my E-peen and show you that I can beat up on fucking low league players. No, it's not the fucking point. But so many people think that. So many people think that's the point of a Bronze GM series. The point of a Bronze GM series is to teach you what you're supposed to be doing, like, you know, most of the time. I can't teach you what you're supposed to do every single second of every game because every game is different. But yeah, most of the time. So right there, that was kind of just like, well, my opponent made mass immortals, and we got punished for it. Like, shit happens. Shit happens, guys. Mass immortals can overpower mass Thors. It's just kind of how StarCraft works.
SCV ready.
But the big thing about Thors though is you don't micro them. Like, you don't have to micro them. At most, you can rotate around their attack to be like, AoE is better here. Single target, heavier damage is better here. Stuff like that. That's how it is, you know. That's like the level of understanding with a Thor that you need to have. Other than that, it's pretty just a movie at that point.
In the rear.
The reason why, okay, so I keep reading a chat. I think this is the third time I've read it. The reason why I'm not telling you, oh, but you should focus fire. You want to know why I'm not telling you to do that? It's because number one, it's micro, and number two is it's not just because I'm like, guys, let's make this harder by not microing and see if I can win. No, that's not the fucking point. The point is if you micro anything, it distracts you. And the more it distracts you, the more your macro suffers more and more and more. That's the point. Don't get distracted to the point where like you're like, oh, I have 3,000 minerals. Because I'm just literally not macroing because I'm focus firing army. We'll worry about doing things like that later on. But for now, no. It's not relevant right now. It's counterproductive to a learning player.
This better be good.
A fragile learning player's mind.
SCV ready. Ah, you scared me. SCV ready.
Am I going to micro and diamond? Yes, I will. But Diamond League is, I would say, the first league that micro is actually a relevant thing,
SCV ready.
because the whole point is you don't want to you don't want micro to hurt you, to hurt your play, and you need to have a base level of understanding the game for that to happen, for it to not hurt your gameplay. If you don't, if you ever watch this game and you're like, I don't really know, but I'm learning right now, if that's how you truly feel, then you shouldn't micro. You shouldn't multitask yourself to the point to where it's like you don't know a lot of what you're doing and you're just doing it. You're like, oh, we'll see what happens. All that's gonna do is it's gonna make you play bad.
Stroke my Upin PLS.
Oh baby.
SCV ready.
Thank you, Kokuma, for the bits, dude.
Fueled up, ready to go. Speak up. SCV ready.
Now we're gonna get a armory.
SCV ready.
Oh,
Yo, Wignot, thank you. Alright, yo, Coronic. Also, sorry, I didn't notice the sub earlier. I just saw it just now. Coronic, thank you for the Twitch Prime as well. Welcome to the VFam, my dude. And Wingnut, thank you for the 2-month recommitment. Much love, dude.
command
Welcome back.
center upgrade complete.
Welcome back, my dude.
SCV
Welcome
ready.
back.
Big job, huh? Fueled up, ready to go. SCV ready. Bad news.
Is this PvT? No, it's it's Terran versus Zerg.
SCV ready. What's going
Go ahead
on?
and start an upgrade on my thingy majigger. I'll go ahead and get
Ready.
our third base going, and we can start a fourth command center.
Huh?
Let's also scan his base right now. It's near 6 minutes. We can see, okay, he doesn't have a gas here. Already. Not seeing it, and the fact that he just made a roach too, cool. But not seeing a gas there. If you ever see people missing gas, you can already assume it's probably not Mutas. Probably.
Is here.
It's not a guarantee, but it's
Base
a most
is
likely
under attack.
situation right there. And send some
In
SCVs over.
rear with the gear. Bad news. What's going on? Yeah, whatever. SCV ready.
He does not have link speed. Excuse me, he doesn't have link speed though.
Go ahead. Get me back. I hear you. SCV ready. Ah, you scared me.
Add-on complete.
Alright, so we're making Thors and Hellions again right now.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and move a couple of my tanks. Well, let's move one tank on the high ground over here, and we'll move one tank just way over here on the side of the ramp. This way it can help cover my base in case like a big roach army comes over here, which is very possible.
Ready.
Like another command center. SCV just making command centers, boys, cranking them out. Let's try out a few more factories right now.
SCV ready. 4 is here. This better be good. Big job, huh? Ah! Ready to raid?
Upgrade complete.
So we need a couple more SCVs, just 3 more,
SCV
and
ready.
we'll be at 75, which is perfect.
You gonna give me orders? Are you ready?
Focusing again, 100% of our attention on the macro. If you notice, look at the game timer and look at our supply.
Going.
Like we're cranking this this number fast right here.
SCV ready.
I'm going to get a building armor upgrade just in case this guy goes for, you know, these big timings of whatever.
Ready to raise some hell. Bad news.
Mineral field depleted.
But we're already at 144 supply at 8 minutes, and it's gonna keep going fast.
Add-on complete.
Let's start another command center. Keep dropping mules.
Command center upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted.
All right, now around this point, this is when we want to be like, all right, let's add in some sensor towers because we're getting ready to want to move out soon. And the last thing we want to do is move out when there's an army just sitting outside my base that can actually just like run me over. That would suck. So we're almost maxed out at around 9 minutes
field
again.
depleted.
With good upgrades as well. We're gonna have 1-1 upgrades currently, and 2-1 is gonna be done soon-ish. We'll keep going around and looking at my all my buildings here and being like, all right, is there anything we can fix, like saturation wise?
4 is here.
Upgrade.
Ready to raise some. 4 is here.
Oops, did I hit the wrong button there?
Our SCVs are
Okay, he's going
attack.
mutas. All right. So now we'll have to remake some SCVs, which is totally fine. But let's start making some turrets.
Big job, huh?
Make some SCVs right now. Just start making them.
Fight me. 4 is here.
Alright, we just killed a bunch of mutas. I think I literally just killed all the mutas.
4 is here. SCV ready.
How many SCVs are we at? We're at 68 again.
Base is under attack.
Alright, so he's going swarm host. That's fine.
Command center
Let's go ahead and get
upgrade
blue flame and
complete.
smart servos.
Mineral field.
The thing about swarm host is a lot of people don't understand how they work.
Upgrade complete.
But the way you beat swarm host is legit who has a better economy. Who can produce more than the
Command
other.
center upgrade
That's all it is.
complete.
You can crush swarm host if you just produce more than the other guy. That's how that unit works.
Big job, huh?
So now let's go ahead and unseat my tanks.
Who wants some?
We'll do the same thing we always do. One Hellion.
I'm on it.
One Hellion. And let's just wait and see where we think we should go attack. For a moment here.
Ah, you scared me.
And now that we're also maxed, we can continue to increase our...
4 is
Okay,
here.
he's going over here now, so let's go attack this right now. And start repairing this command center. Cool. It's fine. Now let's
Affirmative.
Hellbat mode the Hellions. Let's just attack over here. This seems like his outermost base. We'll just A-move that right now. And now back at my base. Let's increase our factory count again.
I'm going.
Research.
Got any extra firepower? Yep.
Trying to just like find areas where Thor is probably not gonna get stuck, basically. Transfer some SCVs over that are getting oversaturated.
Go ahead.
Good, good,
It's heating
good,
up out here.
good. SCV count needs to be a little bit higher though. We're at 75. We can take another base as well.
Uh-huh.
And we could even, I guess we could also start like another command center somewhere, like maybe like right there, just for an extra orbital, because we have the money.
Got any extra firepower?
And now once again we're gonna keep making units the whole time. Get these next factories ready to go too. So reactor, reactor, Add in a couple more reactors. We'll do a tech lab there, and these will be tech labs. We want to have like 2/3 tech lab, 1/3 reactor is the balance we're looking for here. And we're at a good SCV count again.
Got any extra firepower?
And my army looks like it's done a lot of damage. Let's move his base
Command
right
center
there.
upgrade complete.
What's going on? It's heating up out here.
And tech lab. Keep making units. We'll drop some mules here. We'll just drop some mules now in this base. It's pretty open. We need the money. This is why we make the orbitals.
Add-on.
Because if you look at our gas, it's getting a bit higher than our minerals. It's because our mules are
Add-on complete.
being a little neglected, I would say.
Sure thing.
Mineral field depleted.
And he's going back into meet us. But this army is doing a lot of damage in the meantime.
Is here.
And by the time he cleans it up, he's gonna have a brand new army in his face again. Because this is already what we got going. It's pretty hefty, pretty big.
It's heating up out here. Is here.
Orbital command. I think it's a planetary. Take a couple of turrets at it. Drop some mules.
War is here.
Priority here is once again to max out. So as soon as we max, we'll move out.
What's the story?
Command center upgrade.
There you go. We are now maxed again.
Is here. What's going on? Huh? Go ahead.
And now we can grab our whole army. Hellbat mode. Leave our Thors an explosive,
Complete.
and we'll do it again. Same thing. A move there, shift. A move there, shift. A move there.
Hell that.
Mineral field.
And all the new
depleted.
units that spawn will just become the next
Mineral
round that we
field
send at him
depleted.
eventually. Alright, looks like that's Mitas. Yeah, let's go ahead and repair my turret if he attacks it. It's a negative. Sure, we can have our Thors attack it.
Base is under attack.
A move a Thor over here, whatever. These are my rallies. And now, while our Thors are doing that, we can drop some more mules.
Firepower.
And we can grab a few more command centers somewhere.
Roger. It's your dime. Big job, huh?
This base is now kind of like more defended because we have now an outer base, which is why we'll start filling it up with some more command centers. Just something. And we can
Mineral field depleted.
go ahead and we can do it. This army's still going pretty strong. Let's grab our whole army again and just A move right there. So we'll grab all my existing units that are just kind of chilling as well to go that way. We make a new base over here.
Roger.
And then we'll keep it going, guys. My factory production's looking pretty good. And we can just keep it going further and further.
Geyser exhausted.
But the more my money ramps up, the more we want to prepare to. So I'm gonna really quickly I'm gonna pull some pain out for you really fast, okay? I'm gonna pull pain out. So if we have like let's say we got a little bit of a graph here, okay, or some shit, whatever. Not really a graph. It's just more of like a line. Let's say this is, it's kind of like a graph. This is like 5 minutes. This is like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, and these are the this bar will represent that I'm about to do. It will represent how fast you can produce units. Okay, that's literally what it is. At 5 minutes, we can produce units this fast. At 6 minutes, we can produce units this fast. At 7 minutes, we can produce units this fast. At 8 minutes, we can produce units this fast. At 9 minutes, we can produce units this fast. And if you remember, 9 is an important number because 9, this one, I'll do it in red. This number right here is important because this is when we max normally. And now finally, this last bar, once we max, my money is going to start. Like you notice it goes up very slightly, very slightly, very slightly, very slightly. Because every time we like fully saturate another base, we do things like, let's add on another factory. Cool. Let's add on another 2 factories. Cool. It's like very little. because we have we're focusing a lot on upgrades, we're focusing on building the buildings themselves, and we're focusing on still maintaining production out of those buildings. So we're doing all of it at once. It's really expensive to do it all at once. We're climbing with everything all at the same time. But as soon as we max, all the production stops. So all that money is now free. So then at 10 minutes, our production value pretty much doubles. So it goes like that. So what happens is when this army, if this army right here, okay, this one right here, if this wins the game, we win the game. If we don't win the game and this army dies, we can rebuild that shit really fast because we prepared for it. Once we like lost a lot of the expenses. 11 minutes would be roughly around the same thing. It would be a little bit bigger, but it would be like, if we did 11 minutes, it would probably be like this. There gets to be a point where you don't need any more because you have a supply cap, okay? 11 minutes would probably be something like this. Like something like that. Like a little bit bigger. Not twice as big. But this would be like right here. This is like 7 factories. This is like 14 factories. Does that make sense? Like we really ramp up the production because this army, if it dies when we max out the first time, if we remake it, we'll remake it. Instead of remaking it like in a total of 90 seconds, now we're going to remake it in 45 seconds. Way faster. With Terran. So it's all about you prepare and more for the in-game. Nice, dude. What would you say about aggressive harassment? Aggression and harassment. Starting what league it starts to be required to win. So, I do it already with Zerg in every league. Because the thing about Zerg is you don't need to micro with that kind of a composition. And you can do it really early and it's still effective. Because it's not that expensive either. Which is roaches. But with Terran and Protoss, I do not do it with Terran and Protoss. And this is why. If I send out a little army of roaches with Zerg, guaranteed my opponent will either kill them or take damage from them, but he's going to be dealing with them. He's going to deal with them. And those roaches, no matter what my opponent can do, there's going to be enough of them to be a problem. You've seen how many times I've won games because of just literally just the roach push. It's happened a lot. Terran Protoss don't work like that at low level play because you can't make an army that is very easy to A-move and doesn't have to be microed in any way that has a high chance to do damage. It doesn't exist for Terran Protoss. Terran Protoss can definitely harass you, but the thing about Terran Protoss is they need to micro it a lot more than Zerg does.
Yep.
Like what am I gonna do in my build if I open up with
SCV ready.
like 2 Cyclones and I A-move the Zerg, and the Zerg with mass speedlings, and my Cyclones get surrounded and die because I'm A-moving them? Like, what do I do?
Go ahead.
It's a horrible attack at that point. It's very bad. And Cyclones are really expensive. What do I do if I make a Thor? A Thor. And I move it out and go attack my opponent. And they have something that can kill a Thor. That's really bad. Like, it's just... Terran and Protoss are a little bit more expensive, and you're not going to have as much as Zerg right away. So it needs to be babysat a little bit harder. Which means you have to micro it. And microing your units is kind of like not going to help you right now.
What's going on?
It's basically the biggest thing that I relate it to is I've coached a lot of people in StarCraft, and I've heard the same story from so many different people, and they say literally this line. They go, "Hey, ViBE, so I have really good macro. I just need to work on my micro," and it's a fucking Gold League player. And this guy's macro is not good. Like, straight up. I can tell it's not good as soon as I start watching him play. And I'm like,
Bad news?
I'm just thinking to myself,
Will do.
you're looking at the game so wrong, dude. Like, you want a micro
Rear with the gear.
really bad, and that's totally fine. But how about you just make yourself good at macro first, and then worry about micro once you're actually good at macro. Don't tell yourself you're good at macro, because I don't know what makes you think that, but yeah. I honestly don't know why some people think they're good at macro when they're definitely not. But
Go ahead.
if you're not at least in Diamond League, your macro needs to be improved. That's the bottom line here.
This better be. Been waiting on.
That is legit the bottom line
What's
about
going on?
everything right there.
You're the boss. SCV ready. Roger. It's your dime.
All right, so he's got a core, he's got a nexus, he's got a gate. It's standard.
SCV ready.
My macro is ass, and I'm diamond. Well, if you're Diamond League, I'm not gonna say your macro is good, but your macro is good. You should be good enough to start incorporating a little bit of micro. There's just, guys, we're gonna get in. I know a lot of people are probably like, God damn it, Vibe, I'm so tired of watching this. But this is how you should play if you're in platinum. So we'll get to diamond soon enough, and then I'll increase the difficulty of these builds a little bit. But right now, if you're watching this like this right now and you're platinum, and you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's fine. It's you're your own person. You can think whatever you want, but I strongly recommend you stop trying to micro your games to victories. You'll realize StarCraft 2 is way easier if you don't do that. If again, here's the big if.
Our SCVs
What the fuck
are
is this
under
SCV doing?
attack.
I didn't send that over there. If your goal is to improve at StarCraft, listen to what I'm saying. If your goal is to just have fun and you don't give a shit, do whatever you want. You can not listen to me then, and don't even watch this. Because you'll probably be really bored. But for some people, having fun is getting better at something.
In the rear with the gear.
I know for me, I would have a lot more fun if I was really good. If I'm really good at something, it's more enjoyable than if I'm just fucking off and losing 80% of my games. I don't. For me, playing a game just to lose over and over is not that fun. Not gonna lie.
Big job, huh? Go ahead. SCV ready. Huh?
You know, it's fun. Winning's fun. Winning is definitely pretty fun. Agreed. Like, playing the game in a fun way is great. That's awesome. But doing that exclusively would get boring really fast. If you're just like, I don't care.
Ready.
You'll probably be the kind of guy who plays StarCraft for like 6 months max, and you'll quit because you don't feel like you're going anywhere, and you'll just stop playing the game. That's usually how people like that will go in a game like StarCraft, because the game's too difficult at that point.
Bandit, go ahead.
Base is under attack.
Okay, things just died over there. I don't even know what they were, but things died. Maybe it was a couple of adepts, because my tanks have 2 kills.
SCV ready.
Anyways.
Yeah. SCV ready. Ah! You scared me.
Alright. Okay, we're getting all in right now. This is why you make the tanks. 100%, that's why you make the tanks. Let's move this command center now over here, because he's going that way. That's why you make the tanks.
SCV ready.
Anyone who's wondering, Vi, what the hell is the point of this build? The tanks and the turrets, this prevents you from dying to oracles, and this prevents you from dying to weird-ass all-ins like that. So I would have possibly died if I would have opened up with, like, something else. But because I went tanks behind a wall, I just crushed this guy's build, and now I have this big lead. Because he just failed the timing. And I didn't even micro. I just sat here. I just set it up. I put stuff in place, and then it did the job for me. That was extremely small army for an all-in. Well, you gotta keep in mind, he also lost units before that actually happened too, earlier.
Add-on complete.
But here's the other thing too. It's all relative, okay? StarCraft 2, everything you see, it's all relative. It might look like that was a really weak all-in, because my build that I'm showing you guys is really efficient. It makes units at a faster pace than other units. How many players can you say you play against in Platinum League that max out at 9 minutes? How often does that happen?
Upgrade complete.
Huh? Big job, huh? Yep. It's your dime.
And everybody watching it now, especially if you're Platinum League, you are 100% capable of doing what I'm doing. Because I'm not doing anything other than
SCV ready.
preparing a build here. I'm just building things. You just gotta, but I'm not being distracted. Every time something attacks me, I'm not freaking out and I'm not like, let's stop doing everything and just stare at it. I'm just continuing the macro. I'm just continuing it, boys.
Bad news.
We're continuing the macro. It's really important. This, what I'm doing right now, for anyone who like,
Base is under attack.
hold on. For anyone who's like, ViBE, dude, you've told us this so many times. Like, you keep repeating yourself. Guys, that's what practice is. It's repetitious grinding shit into your brain to where it becomes muscle memory and you don't have to think about shit anymore. That's what practice is. Practice is not like, let me teach you something different every single game. Practice is, I'm gonna fucking grind this shit in your guys' heads so much that
Mineral field
you
depleted.
will get to a point where it's just gonna become like breathing to you. It's second nature. And you'll, if you do this to yourself as well, the biggest thing is, I can't force you to do it. You have to want to do it. But if you want to do it, and you do it, you're going to be at a position where you're just going to be like, wow, I'm like actually macroing while doing other things. And that's when, like, I would say roughly that kind of clicks in most people's brains
Complete.
around Diamond League. That's why I think Diamond League is the first league that you fucking will actually micro. That's why I tell you not to micro until you get there.
4 is here. Sure thing. Huh? Go ahead.
Command center upgrade complete.
Alright, so let's keep rotating our SCVs
Upgrade
around
complete.
so that we don't
We hear you. Man the rear.
miss
with
out
the gear.
on saturation. Okay, so we're a little bit delayed on our max here. Sorry guys, I don't know. I didn't do the build as efficiently as I could have here. We supply blocked a couple times and things like that.
SCV ready.
Alright, so let's go ahead and put my Hellbats in Hellbat mode, my Thors in high impact payload. I can try and repair this command center, but it's probably just gonna die.
Command center.
It's okay. Let's go ahead and build a new one. Build some more depots,
It's heating up out here.
upgrades. Keep making units. And since this guy is going for massive void ray, let's go ahead and do this. Go to my buildings here. Let's get 3 upgrades. Let's get drilling claws. Let's get smart servos, and let's get a blue flame in a second here.
Big job, huh?
Let's start another command center. Make some mules here.
Go ahead.
Command center.
Got no paper.
Grab some SCVs. Put them on the gas.
SCV
There we
ready.
go. 3-3. We're good. SCV count in total. We're down by a couple. We'll make some more. And now we can start.
Man the rear. Let's go. SCV ready.
Gas. Oh, he's attacking me again.
Got any extra firepower?
We can start making some widow mines.
SCV ready. Go ahead. Big job.
Same
Command
thing again.
center
We're
upgrade
moving over
complete.
here.
Got any extra
Our
firepower?
SCVs are under attack. Upgrade complete.
Still making units, guys. And I notice how I haven't also increased my factory count yet.
Command center
It's because I haven't
upgrade
maxed.
SCV ready.
That's the only reason.
complete. Research complete.
This guy's being really aggressive too. He keeps attacking me over and over. So he's slowing down his potential max as well by doing things like that.
SCV ready.
Let's go make another planetary. What's my SCV count? 73? Let's make a couple more.
Give us your best shot. SCV ready.
Let's make some mules. We'll do the same thing again as always. Hellbat, run around the side,
Yes, sir.
run around the side, and
Outstanding.
we'll see where he is. Oh, this poor Thor. He's stuck. And now that we're
Upgrade
now that we're
complete.
maxed, now comes the time when we're like, explosion with production.
Sure thing. Roger.
That's 4 factories right there.
Convoy is here.
That's 3 more right there. We just doubled our factory count. Actually, let's make 1 more.
Ah! You scared me.
Oh look, we found a base on the side of the map. Okay, what's this?
It's heating up out
It's
here.
a random ass portal.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, so let's lift this off so my Thors can get out, because there's a bit of a blunder there. There we go. And now, if you ever have a situation like this in your base where you're like, my guys keep getting stuck like this, rally them to the point where they're not going to get stuck like this. Watch. Rally them there, and then hold shift, and rally them somewhere else. Now every Thor that was going to get stuck there will now come here first, walk there, and then go outside. Now in my dudes here, I'm going to go ahead and put all Hellbats in Hellbat mode, all Thors in high impact payload, and I'm going to put all Widow Mines in group 2. Now we're going to A-move that base. And I will react. I'm going to go ahead and make Tech Lab, Tech Lab, Tech Lab, Tech Lab, Reactor, Reactor, Tech Lab, and
Your
another
forces
Reactor.
are under attack.
As soon as I actually fight him, his real army, I will burrow my Widow Mines. Until that happens, I won't burrow them. But as soon as I do, I'll burrow them. Now I can start making some more money,
Add-on
basically.
Complete.
Make some more orbital commands, guys.
Add-on
Because I can
complete.
totally afford it. Is that his army? That is his army. Okay, let's A-move it.
Upgrade complete.
We're A-moving it. And as soon as we're now just on the Widow Mines. We can make Thors in the meantime while we're looking at this, okay? Keep my little command card here.
Add-on complete.
A-move him.
Add-on
As soon as I get some Widow Mines in range. Okay, we'll burrow now. Burrow. One of them hit it. Cool. Do it again. A-move the next base. We'll go back to my base real quick. Look at my supply. We gotta really fixate on this a little bit.
Vespene Geyser exhausted.
Try not
Your
to
forces
get too
are under
distracted.
attack.
That's like, we're microing kind of intense here right now, I'd say. Doing the Widow Mine thing. But the main reason why I was wanting to do that is just in case he was going mass Void Ray still. Something as simple as hitting a button, one button, can win you the game. Yeah. Which is like, oh look, there's like 20 Void Rays stacked up. Let's burrow 6 Widow Mines around it, and then they all explode. It happens a lot. I actually thought that guy was going to keep going mass Void Rays, but he ended up going into a Tempest. When you say that Diamond is when micro starts, what basic micro are you talking about? I'm talking about actually using builds that harass your opponent, and you actually micro it while macroing. And then yes, you can also do logical fights, like actual micro a little bit, like making concave. We'll go more in depth about things like that. But harassing your opponent basically is a big deal in higher leagues, and being able to do that while macroing is not easy, but it's something we can talk about.
Go ahead. Yep.
Because if you notice, I don't really attack my opponent until I like max out. When should Protoss and Terran start micro? Everybody should start micro and Diamond.
SCV ready. What's going on?
The whole reason, guys, again, I'm gonna say this one more time. The whole reason why I tell you guys not to micro until you're Diamond is not because I think you're gonna have shitty micro. It's not. It has nothing to do with that. It's not because I think you're gonna over micro your units and you're gonna like lose a fight. It's not because I think you're bad at micro. It's because I think that if you micro, you'll neglect everything else. The more important things.
SCV ready. Bad news. Big job, huh?
Let's
Go
scout
ahead.
him with an SCV. It's a random player.
Will do.
He's Protoss. Alright, so Marine will go attack that SCV,
Our
or that probe I mean.
SCVs are under attack.
Marine, auto attack the probe.
Command center upgrade complete.
Can you address General's question about the minimap? What did he say? When to start paying much attention to it. It's pretty much a universal thing. You should always try your best to pay attention to the minimap.
In the rear with the...
Like, that just comes with the territory of playing StarCraft, I guess.
Can't wait.
Add-on complete.
I would say that's something you should work on no matter what
Our
league you're in.
SCVs are under attack.
Okay, this guy went double gateway.
SCV ready. Armed and ready. Yo.
Make a second guess. Yeah, like minimap awareness. That's something that's... I can't just be like, look at the minimap. And all of a sudden, you do, and now you're good
Our
at it.
SCVs
That's
are
not how
under
looking at the
attack.
minimap works. Like, that's not how that kind of a skill that you can acquire works. That's something you have to just physically experience yourself and get good at yourself. You can't just tell someone to be... That's like me saying, be good. And you just, now you're good. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
You have to just do... You have to... That comes from experience. But that's literally the only answer I can give you on that. You should always be looking at the minimap. Like, try to keep tabs on what's happening on the minimap. We're moving the tank right now.
Big job, huh? What's that? SCV ready. What's going on? Ah!
But yeah, I wish I could give you guys a better answer than that, because I'm sure there's probably some people that are like, that's a bad answer. That sucks. But
SCV ready.
there are some players in like Grandmaster guys, okay? GM, that don't look at the minimap very well. It fucking happens. It always happens. Oh, come on, Vibe. That wall micro was solid. Okay.
Go ahead. Got no paper.
Well, sure. Alright guys, here's the concept. If an adept tries to go into your base with a phase, put a fucking depot up, hit the button called R. Raise. Go like that. And you'll prevent the adept from going into your base.
Big job, huh? Give us your best shot. In the rear with the gear.
Command center.
SCV ready. Ready to roll out. Go ahead. Hey, what's our SCV ready.
I see your point though. There, probably, if I was like legit platinum, I might have let that adept just walk all over my base and be like, well, I lost.
Bad news.
Just so you guys know, if I didn't put my depot up, I probably would have lost the game. So if that happens to you in a game that you're playing, just start a new game. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not going to happen every game.
SCV ready.
Alright, so we're going to do 2 factories because we're at 200 gas now to spare.
Rear with the- Fueled up, ready to go.
We're go ahead and scan his base. He's going for a Twilight Council, which means he's most likely going into either Blinkstalkers, Adepts with Glaives,
Give us your
Charge
best
Lots.
shot.
Something like that is happening right now.
SCV ready.
Alright, so now we're going to start making Thorhillion again.
SCV ready.
And we can take our third base.
Go ahead.
We can also start another base in a second here.
SCV ready. What's going on?
If you guys are wondering, ViBE, how do you drop mule so fast? If you just hit the button mule and your mouse becomes a target to drop a mule, and you hold shift, you can literally spam click the mineral line, and you can drop mules like that.
SCV ready. Bad news.
Instead of always hitting V click or whatever your mule hotkey is. Mule hotkey click, mule hotkey click, click, click. You don't have, it's less actions required. It just then becomes a click of the mouse instead of a second reselection of the skill itself as well.
In the rear with the gear. Sure
So we got
thing.
factory, factory, factory.
Ah! You scared me. Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
Let's go ahead and get blue flame because this guy might go charge lots, and if he does, blue flame will be amazing.
What's going on?
Let's try and scan his like the front of his base. See if I can see an army. Okay, we got these zealots have a move speed. You can mouse over the move speed, and you can already tell without them even moving around, they have charge because it's also yellow. The move speed number is yellow, which means it's been altered. If you guys didn't know that as well, yellow means altered, means there's been an upgrade involved. As you can see, look at the weapon upgrade of my Thor. See how it says 33 in yellow? Look at my Marine. See how it says 6 in white? Means it has not been altered because it's white. So we just discovered that he's committed to charge lots, which is again a great read on going, oh, blue flame's gonna be fucking amazing.
Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
Blue flame gonna be good.
Big job.
Mineral field depleted.
Yep. Yeah, whatever.
Add-on complete.
Thor is here.
Research complete. Mineral
All right.
field depleted.
Alright, alright.
Yellow means altered. I swear I learn new things every day about this game from ViBE.
What's go ahead.
Yo, breakfast gun. Thank you for the bits, my dude. Alright, we missed our max again, but I think it's because the adepts early kind of slowed me down a little bit. I had to delay saturating my natural properly, but it's okay. Our army's looking pretty solid. Yo, Salamander SC2, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime, dude. Welcome
Command
to the
center
VFAM.
upgrade.
Ready to raise some hell. Gotcha. Huh?
And we can grab some SCVs that are being oversaturated and send them elsewhere.
Move it. Thor is here.
We're gonna have a 2-2 timing. This store is stuck. No wonder why as well. Oh my god, I hate when that happens.
Research
The store is legit. Like it's stuck. I can't
Thor is here.
build the Thor out of it.
upgrade complete.
Oh my god.
Mineral field
It's too close to
depleted.
the armory. There's like the Thor can't physically pop out there. So it's oh my god. What a waste.
Ready to raise.
Mineral field depleted.
Alright. So let's scan him in his front base one more time. There's nothing there.
By
Alright.
the numbers, boys. Go ahead. SCV ready. Thor is here.
Alright, let's go ahead and throw down a few more factories now.
Ready to raise some hell.
We'll throw it further over this way.
Job. In the rear with the gear. Bad news. We hear you. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, that's enough factories. We just made it like we doubled up our factory count basically.
You gonna give me orders?
So now once again we're gonna go Hellbat mode. We're gonna go high impact payload mode, and We're gonna A-move his ass. We're gonna go right there for now. We can get building armor and building range. We can take this planetary at the gold.
You scared me.
And we can start another command center in my main.
Bad news.
And then another command center in my main. We're just preparing for now the mule version, the mule stage of the game, basically. The mule stage, guys. Mule stage. Alright, we can go ahead and attack that. Alright, we'll attack that. That's where his army is. We can go ahead and scan. Now, meanwhile, let's go ahead and be like, reactor, 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 tech labs, and let's make units. We can drop mules too in the meantime. Whatever mules we can physically afford to drop, we'll drop. Okay, that map was a bit of a, or that map, that ramp was a bit of a meat grinder because our Thors literally kept walking up. But we did also, here's something cool to note, we wiped out a whole mineral line, guys.
Command center.
We literally wiped out the
complete.
entire mineral line.
Add-on complete.
So now we just gotta like hold, basically. Just hold. We definitely have
Command center.
a lot of
upgrade
production.
Complete.
We just need to be able to hold.
Upgrade complete.
Hellbat coming through.
But you can see that now that we're getting closer and closer and closer to diamond, it's becoming more and more
Upgrade
apparent
complete.
that we need to start microing a little bit more, right? Like I'm not just
Command center upgrade.
doing this shit in Silver League. I was like I would push out with my first attack and I would win every time. You'd be like, "Oh, ViBE wins again. Cool." But now that we're getting
Command
into
center upgrade complete.
like higher, a little bit higher here. We're plat, getting close to diamond. We're getting to a point now where we need to really have good macro,
What's going on?
or we're gonna fucking die, basically. If he attacks right now, you die.
Hellbat coming through.
It's questionable. It's a maybe. That's a maybe, my dude. Because look at my supply.
Hellbat coming through.
I prepared to remember that graph I showed you guys, where I'm like, this is 9 minutes. This is 10 minutes.
Mineral field.
We remaxed in a matter of about 60 seconds. So it's pretty fucking fast
Good
remax.
job, huh? Yo.
Research.
Hellbat coming through. Get fired. Talk to me.
Oh my god, this I'm gonna just move this, dude. It's such a fail location for that Thor.
Mineral
It's
field
literally like
depleted.
it's tying up supply and money, and it's something that'll never spawn.
Mineral field depleted.
All right, let's go. Same thing again, guys.
Mineral field
Hellbat mode, high
depleted.
impact payload.
Here we go. Bad news. Go ahead.
Grab some SCVs, grab some SCVs, grab some SCVs, send them around.
Add-on.
They move towards his army. Keep making units the whole time. Don't stop making units. Watch my supply. Watch my supply. Notice how I'm not. That's. Do you see that?
Mineral field
It went pretty well, right? This time around, it went all right. When the whole time that was happening, we didn't just stare at it and like hope that we won that fight. We made units. That is the most important part of everything.
Mineral field
Is you can't neglect making your units.
Hellbat coming through.
We can add-ons now that fight's over. We can continue pushing at his base, but now we can add on some more CCs because now we have some extra bank to work with. Because we don't have to now remake another army, and we can drop a ton of mules on a new base. And there you go. We've just increased our Remax potential again even more. Because now we're richer than we were before, and we're still maxed. Watch my SCVs. These guys are
mineral
done.
field depleted.
Some of these guys are out. Some of these guys are now out. These guys are okay. These guys are fine. One over there. The rest over here.
Hellbat coming
Cool.
through.
Drop some more mules.
Command center upgrade complete.
Once you get to about like 14 command centers as well, you're probably kind of done. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to be making command centers so you have like 30 command centers. That's a bit excessive. Because this many command centers now, this many orbitals rather, I have, I'm going to have 11 orbitals. That's enough to drop a assload of mules all day. This is plenty. This is plenty. Only 14. Yeah, it's a lot, right? We have 15 now, including this one, because this is going to be a planetary. Look, guys, I have a new army because we macroed. Let's do it again. A move. Put my Thors in high impact payload. Because he's not using anything that I would need missiles against. So if he rolls out like Void Rays or something, I'm going to prefer this to be in the high impact payload mode.
Command center upgrade complete.
Oh my god, this is like, this. Oh. We're going to move that now as well. This is like the worst factory placement ever. Just kill these things. I can't stand to look at them anymore.
Mineral field depleted.
And now, if you guys remember,
It's heating up out here.
the ultimate endgame for Terran.
What's going on?
Ultimate endgame for Terran.
I'm
You
going.
guys remember?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead
Mineral field
and,
depleted.
does he have SDTs or anything? Scan this one time.
Add-on complete.
Ultimate endgame for Terran, guys. Let's go ahead and start doing that right now.
You scared me. We hear you. Huh? Yeah. Come and fight. Ah! You scared me. Go ahead.
Make
Got any
units.
extra
Remember, we're,
firepower?
look at that. I just did one round of units in all my factories, and we're almost maxed again, after losing almost my entire army once again.
I hear you.
That's the power, boys. That's the power. And I got all these mules. Yeah, that's the power. This is the power of Terran. If you macro, the level of macro we're putting on this guy
Command
is like
center
equal to the
upgrade.
level of macro of a GM Terran. Like, not because I'm like, oh, I'm fucking GM Terran, guys. Yeah, that's me. It's because we're keeping the guy we're keeping him on defense so often that he feels like he can't do anything. Like, he's always like, oh my god, another army. Oh my god, he's maxed out again. Here comes another army. Oh, he's maxed again. It just never ends. It never ends. This is what'll happen if you prepare the game the way we've prepared it now.
Command center upgrade complete.
You just keep your opponent stuck on the back foot the entire time.
Add-on complete.
And it's honestly not that hard to do this. You just need to make it your priority.
Mineral
That's all you gotta do.
depleted.
Make what I'm doing your priority, not microing.
Vespine geyser
Because microing is gonna
exhausted.
slow you down severely. Now let's do it again. Let's move another base. High impact payload Thors.
Upgrade complete.
And now look at this, guys. After this army starts dying, let's actually, we're at this point now, we can start switching into some BCs. Because we have a lot of starports. We have 8 starports. So now if my army starts dying here, we can, yeah, like I said, we can switch into
Getting
BCs.
fired up here, boss. Let's go.
Minerals need to be fixed. Good.
It's heating
Good.
Add-on
up out here.
complete.
Those need to be fixed.
Uh-huh.
Grab some SCVs over here. Fix them.
You scared me.
These need to be fixed.
Come and fight me.
Look at my supply.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh, cool. We're doing great. But we can actually right now we can look at the fight while I literally just keep making units. Every starport has a battlecruiser being made in it right now. And now that we can't make any more, let's just start making Hellbats to max out our supply in case he pushes. GG.
Mineral field.
So if we look, and yeah, our SCV count, guys, by the way, was 74 this game. And if we look at resources lost, he took more resources lost than I did. But let's go ahead and back it up and let's look at the supplies throughout these fights. We'll go to like the first one first and see what his supply is versus mine. So, up to this game, the only thing that's happened so far is I've lost 3 SCVs and he's lost 1 probe. I killed the probe that scouted me with my Marine earlier, wherever my Marine is. There he is. He's got, see how he has 1 kill? This one little Marine dude who's actually standing behind a Thor right there, he killed a probe. And then his Adepts over here, wherever they are, This one killed 2. Another one probably over here somewhere killed 1. He has multiple adepts, but one of these adepts killed 1, and then the weakened one over here, the red one or the orange one, killed 2. That's the only thing that's done. That's the only thing that's happened so far. That's the only thing. A couple of Marines and a couple of SCVs and a probe have died. Very, 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 very minor things have happened in this game so far. We're the ones who have actually lost more than he has. Yet somehow we're the ones that have a 50 supply lead already. It's because the build's efficient. It's the only reason. It's an efficient. It's not the best build ever, because there's plenty of builds that are also really good, that can set you up in a game that's really solid. But this build is really easy to do. It doesn't require any micro, which is why I advocate it so hard in this whole series. It's a build that you can literally just make units and sit there, and you're like, cool, we're good to go, baby. We're good to go. So now when we push, we're maxed. Again, we have a 50 supply lead right now. 50. Now it's 40. Now it's about 30. Now it's about tied. He actually made a lot of units as I pushed across the map. But let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our bases. His units, okay? The composition, who gives a shit? Doesn't actually matter, okay? This composition, Jesus. This composition versus this composition, it doesn't actually matter that much. It's whatever. What we're going to look at right now is Remax potential, okay? This guy's actually got 3 robos. That's a lot of fucking robos, guys. That's actually insane. That's a lot. So that's really good. He can totally, like, if he's got a bank to work with here, he can totally afford to make this fully producing off of, 3 mortals with Chrono Boost especially. And then he's got 7 gates. Does he have gates anywhere else? Negative. So that's his Remax potential. 3 robos and 7 gates. Our Remax potential is right now it's 13 factories. So 13 factories versus 3 robos and 7 gates. I would say Terran can Remax a little bit faster in this situation, but this 3 robo thing is pretty insane. It's a lot. I was honestly expecting like 2, maybe 1. 3's. This is like the 4th guy I've played against that has gone fucking triple robo against me. So this fight doesn't go very well because we lose vision of the ramp, and we're not microing, so our units have to keep walking up 1 by 1 to get vision. And his army is just pounding me the whole time. You can see, if you look at the supply, right as I lose vision of the ramp. Watch. I lose vision of the ramp right now. I lose it now because scan just ended and my units on top of the ramp just died. And we still have a good supply lead right now. But our army starts getting manhandled really hard because our units have to keep walking up and Thors are slow as shit. So, yeah. These immortals just basically pound me. But even after my army dies, guys, even after I lose my entire army, look at the resources lost. I'm negative here over him. I am negative over what he has lost, but I guess it's more surprising. I'm surprised he lost almost as much as I did. I guess he lost a lot of Templars, which are really expensive. But the point I'm trying to make here is after I literally lost every unit, and he still has quite a bit of units left over on the fight. I guess I have some Hellbats here, but my army just died is the point I'm trying to make. And his did not. His army is still pretty healthy looking. He did lose a lot, but he's still got a pretty healthy army here. I'm still ahead in supply, though. I lost everything, and I'm still in supply. I also don't have a ton of bank in the bank, and he's got almost 3 times as much as me with the minerals. And it's because he's not spending as much as I am. Because he's more focused on this. Could he have pushed right here? What do you think? This is what people were saying this, but what do you think? Look at the supply. Do you think he could kill me right now? I don't think he could kill me right now, because by the time this army would go across the map like this, I would have a new set of units coming out of my factories, because I'm not making units off of like 3 factories where I have to be like, hold on, let me make like 4 rounds of it. I have fucking 13 factories, which is going to be like everything spawns at once. It's like a Remax. I don't think he could kill me right now. Maybe not, but hit your expansion on the bottom. He could hit one of my bases, sure. But look at my army right now. It respawned again really fast. And I have not actually had a supply deficit this entire time. If I have a supply lead, like you saw what happened when my army fought him over here. Or, like, if you didn't see it, you're going to see it soon. But this army is very capable of beating the shit out of this army. If this army had like 3 times the immortal count that he does right now, it would be much scarier. But this is not enough immortals to make me worried because my Hellbats will tank long enough for the rest of my army to probably overpower a lot of his stuff. Production tab. There you go. He's making 3 immortals. We're making 4 Thors and 8 Hellbats. And now look at supply again. We're maxed again, guys. We are maxed again. And he's at 155. 155. So now we push again. He pushes as well. We push each other, basically. And this is what it looks like. This is that fight I was talking about. This is what it looks like when you fight an army that's like this. Like this army, this time, this army's not going to have that vision problem like it had last time on this cliff right here, where his army was standing like there, and my Thors were like derping on the ground because I wasn't microing it. I'm still not microing it this time, guys, just so you know. Like, look at these Hellbats. They don't even give a shit. And there you go. We're still maxed, and he's at 137 supply. And even though we're still maxed, look at our bank. The reason why our bank is getting so high, even though we're constantly remaxing on everything, is because our income is stupidly high. Because we've gotten to a point here where we've made so many orbital commands that we can just mule dump all of our bases hardcore. Like it's not like we have a crazy SCV count. We have actually one less SCV than he has in probes. But we have the mule hammer, boys. The good old mule hammer that we're just abusing because it's Terran. So he kills my army again. And again, after he kills my army, he uses the ramp again, and my Thors get really stupid because they can't see half the time. But he kills my army again, and after he kills my army again, look at the supply. We're still almost maxed again because if we go back to production, we have like all of our factories just pumping. We're making 8 Thors at a time, and we're maxed. This is why these Thors are so dumb. This is why you accelerate your production really so hard, because it allows you to now once again push him like this, and his army is slowly trickling down and down and down and down and down every time. Like the first time we fought, he was 190 supply. The second time we fought, he was like 175 supply. This time when we fight, he's at 160 supply. Or to be exact, he's at 159. And we're maxed every time. So he's slowly dropping down in supply every time we fight because we're maxing faster than he can handle over and over. Which means every time we do this to him, we're going to have a little bit of a better fight every time. Look how this fight goes compared to the first one we had a while ago. Our Hellbats weren't even helping, by the way. Our Hellbats are just killing probes right now. But our Hellbats even just killed a base. And I'll direct your eyes once again, guys. Let me direct your eyes back to the supply. Look at what it was a second ago. Watch. It was at like 90 or something. It was at 112. But we just filled up our fucking factories again. 10 Hellbats and 8 Thors. Whoop. We're almost maxed again. And this is when we're starting all of our starports. So we can, you know, swap our tech now to a ultimate death ball, because he's going for immortal heavy. He is going for a definitely robo heavy composition, which these will suck balls against this. This is an ultimate counter to this. He has not increased his gateway count very much at all. He has 7 still in the main, and now he has 4 in his like 5th base down here. That's not enough. And if the game wasn't over right now, look at our supply. We're still maxed. And now we have 8 fucking battle cruisers being made. 8. 8 of those bad boys. We don't slowly go into BCs throughout the whole game. We just hard switch that shit late game if the guy doesn't die. And the reason why we can afford it is because we're rich. You going to bed, Hurdler? Hurdler, you going to bed? If you're going to bed, have a great night, man. Thanks for watching. My dude. Do you think it's beneficial to make a game with no opponent and try to consistently hit 9-minute max out? I do not think that's beneficial. The reason why I don't think that's good for you is because in StarCraft 2, in a realistic game, you're always going to have distractions. There's a lot of ways your opponent can distract you. And if the way you practice is in a perfect environment, you're going to suck really bad in an environment that has distractions. It's not good. You'd be much better off. It'd be like if you were to really practice, if you wanted to get as good as you can, as fast as you can, you would want to practice opposite of that mindset. The way you'd want to practice would be like playing against somebody who will give you mass amounts of distractions the entire time, and it's like incredibly stressful to play against that person over and over and over, and they're like, you're just like, oh my god, I can fucking do this. This is so hard. And then after you practice with that guy, then you go back to ladder where someone distracts you once in a while, and you'll be like, this is so fucking easy. You're doing it the wrong way if you practice in a perfect environment, because that's not how ladder works. You're not gonna just play perfect games where it's like, my opponents are going to let me do whatever I want, whenever I want. It's not how it works. So it's bad practice.
What's going on? SCV ready.
Do some maps restrict macro because less mineral lines? No. There's not a single map in the map pool that is not a macro map. You can macro every single map.
Bad news. SCV ready.
Alright, we're against a Terran. We're gonna go scout his base.
Yeah. This better be good. Been waiting on you.
You can auto attack the SCV.
Command center upgrade complete.
That SCV looks really weird.
What's going on?
It looks like that doesn't even look like a StarCraft 2 unit to me. I don't know what the hell that looks like. It's weird though.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Okay, so he went for a Reaper. And he also went for a expansion. He's playing a very standard build. The build he's doing right now is what I will do when I'm Diamond League.
Ready.
I'll open with a Reaper instead.
Add-on complete.
What's up? SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready. Bad news. Go ahead. SCV ready.
Command center upgrade complete.
Okay.
SCV ready. Fueled up, ready to
So
go.
A move towards the Reapers with my tank and Marine.
Orders received. What's that? SCV ready. Sure. SCV ready. Ah! You scared me.
We can make an engineering bay and an armory. That way we don't get screwed by like a Banshee.
SCV ready.
Because again, as always, our build would get completely destroyed by a Banshee style.
SCV ready.
Same with the Oracle, all that stuff, because our build does not open with anti-air.
Bad news.
Now we can start a couple of factories.
SCV ready.
Make a couple of missile turrets.
Rock and roll. Huh? SCV ready.
Now we can make a couple of gases.
Yep.
And yeah, we're chilling, guys. Build's flowing right now. It's
Command
flowing.
center upgrade complete.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Reactor. So we can get some Hellions going to my army. Let's go ahead and scan his base here really soon. Not yet, but really soon. In probably 30 seconds. We'll scan it right around 6 minutes.
Go ahead. SCV
So far, no
ready.
Banshee has hit me yet, so it doesn't look like I'm playing against a
SCV
really
ready.
fast 1/1/1 Terran.
SCV ready. Well, war is here.
Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
Let's go and scan his base. It's bio. So since it's bio, this is when we want to upgrade Blue Flame and also Smart Servos. And we want to pay close attention to what his composition looks like. Is it going to be heavy Marines or is it going to be heavy Marauders? Let's also start moving our tanks around so I can actually cover my my bases better now.
Ready to raise some hell.
Because not only do I want to move my tanks around, we have more units to cover my bases now, but I really want to take my third now.
Big job, huh? I'm in here. Trouble.
Okay, cool.
What's our target? Speak up. Huh? Yeah. I hear you. Ready to raise some hell. Yes, sir. SCV
Yeah, we'll put our Thors in high impact, just in case a medevac comes around or something like that, or a Liberator.
What's going on? Roger. Bad news.
And we kind of spy block there, but it's okay. It's whatever. Now, with our next 450 minerals, we're going to make 3 more factories, and these are all going to be tech labs.
Base is under attack.
Yep. Ready to raise some hell.
It was under attack by a Marine, and it died through a
Upgrade.
tank.
Research complete.
So now we'll get Smart Servos. So now this Terran player, if he pushes me with Bio, a bunch of Marines, we'll have a bunch of Hellions to just roast the Marines. Straight up. But if he pushes me with a bunch of Marauders, we'll immediately switch with Smart Servos, which we're getting now, into Hellbat mode, because Hellions suck against Hellbats. The point is you're not going to do damage to a Marauder. Here, let me just explain this, okay? Let me explain this. I'll preface this by saying I'm going to explain
Mineral field
why
completed.
Smart Servos is good against Bio.
Roger.
If you go up against a Marauder,
SCV ready.
Hellions in Hellion mode suck really bad because they do no damage anyways, and they're gonna die really fast. So it's pointless to have it in Hellion mode because it's just gonna die even faster, and you're gonna lose your meat shield. But if you have it in Hellbat mode, if it actually connects to a Marauder, it'll do a lot of damage.
Under attack.
Okay, so it's a bunch of well, I'll tell you in a minute. Fuck it, we're gonna get attacked. We're gonna keep our army in Hellion mode until we kill the Marines. A move right now.
Base is under attack.
I can A move my actual army too.
Research.
My SCVs as well. Make stuff. Pull SCVs back. We're done.
Got no patience for shit.
So the reason why we kept our Hellions in Hellion mode for that fight, because there was a bunch of Marines. It's the only reason.
SCV ready.
The only reason.
Upgrade complete.
Lots of Marines.
Load up. SCV ready.
Mineral field depleted.
Did I lose my command center? I think I did.
SCV
I think that the
Mineral
command center that
field
was floating there
depleted.
just died. That sucks.
Roger. War is here. SCV ready to raid some hell. Huh? What's going on? Give us your best shot. In the rear with the gear.
Good building armor.
Upgrade.
SCV ready. Yeah. Come and fight.
Okay, we'll back my army up to right here. Grab my whole army, put it together basically is what I want to do.
Let's go. Ready to raise some hell. Thor is here. Ah! You scared me. SCV ready.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, we have plenty of SCVs, we're good. And now we're about to max. So as soon as we max, we're gonna want to go ahead and
Command center up.
once again ramp up our production.
Ready to raise some hell. Ready to raise some hell. Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
War is
let's
here.
get rid of the barracks over here. We don't need it in this area. Let's go ahead and start ramping up our
Command center
factory
upgrade complete.
amount.
Go ahead. Ready to raise some hell. Uh-huh.
Open it there.
Roger. Thor is here. Thor is here.
Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete.
Okay. There you go. We're at 14 factories again.
Upgrade
14
complete.
factories, guys. 14.
Huh? Bad news? Big shot. In the rear. What's going on?
We can make another command center over here. Whatever.
Ah! You scared?
We can start dropping mules.
Mineral field
Ready to raise some hell.
Transfer some SCVs over. Let's even make another command center right there. Okay, let's unsiege my tanks, Hellbat mode my Hellions, and high impact payload my Thors.
command center upgrade complete.
And do the same routine again. We'll send one Hellion. Oh, never mind, there he
Our
is right now.
SCVs
Okay, we're
are
gonna go back
attack.
into Hellion mode again. Because he's got a lot of tanks, guys. We're going full A move with this. As soon as my army kind of groups up. A move right now, right? A move up there. And we'll worry about making things again.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
Still max in supply. Ish.
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
We can repair it now. Fight's over. And now we can go attack his base. Let's go attack his base.
Mineral field
I
depleted.
always build these fucking
I'm in a
Thors
heap
into
of
these
trouble.
walls.
SCV ready. Thor is here.
Okay, I'm gonna lift that up. Put that somewhere else.
Command center upgrade complete.
Thor is here.
GG.
Got any extra?
And if we look at the supplies now in these fights, when did he push me? He pushed me like right here. Again, not much has happened. We killed 2 Reapers and a Marine or some shit, or 2 Marines. I don't know. So we killed something. Not much though. We killed his scouts basically. An SCV I think as well. I don't know. Now he's pushing me with his Marine tank timing here. And I do lose the command center, I remember now. This poor command center just gets fucking destroyed. And now right as the fight's starting, guys, he's got 1-1 Marines. We've got 0. We actually have 0-1 Hellions. He actually has upgrade advantage right now. He has upgrade advantage. And we don't even siege our tanks early in this fight. We just A-move it. But what's happening here is my Blue Flame Hellions, if I had them in Hellbat mode, here's what the difference would be. If they were in Hellbat mode, I would actually walk closer to the tanks, but more Marines would stay alive longer because I wouldn't be killing them, because the Marines could actually just... They won't be attacked until the Hellbats themselves are in melee range. And if all the Marines are still alive the whole time, they're going to be killing Hellbats faster. So it's harder for my Hellbats to get in melee range. And all the Bio has to do as well is, if this guy actually micros a little bit, is if he's, while he's Stimpacked, he just stutter steps back a little bit to like right there. And it once again creates this big gap because a Marine with Stimpack runs way fucking faster than a Hellbat does. And there's a good chance my Hellbats don't do anything to the Marines. This is what I was trying to explain when he attacked me. Hellions, however, even though the Hellions are going to die faster than Hellbats will, they kind of don't at the same time. Because, again, the reason why I say they die faster is because they actually have less health overall. Because a Hellbat increases the health to like 135 or some shit. Or 125. It gives them a lot more hit points. Per Hellion, which is great, right? But if I actually kill Marines faster, because I actually have 5 range, and I'm also cleaving a little bit of the Marines whenever they clump up a lot, I can actually get rid of Marines faster, which in turn as well keeps the Hellions alive longer because Marines are dying now. So it's more logical to actually try and roast the Marines with your Hellions than it is to just always be like, let's go Blue Flame. Blue Flame is great though against non-Marine based compositions. 100% it is. That's a little fast. Okay. But look, before the fight's even really started, we've already killed like a good 8 Marines or so with the Blue Flame. More Marines are dying. More Marines are dying. These Hellions are actually doing work on these Marines really well. And now, once his Marine count thins out really hard, he loses position on his tanks, and they all die. Well, all the ones that were sieged, at least. And now we siege our tanks after the fight's over. And our tanks are just killing extra Marines. But now, go ahead and look at what happens, or what has happened in this game so far. This Terran, he's got a good supply, for sure. And his economy is okay. But his third just now started, and my third's been mining this whole time. So I have way more money that I've been working with here than he has. So, as you can see in the income right now, it proves my point. We're mining way more than he is right now. So that's kind of where the supply differential comes in. Because we just basically defended 2-base timing. That was a 2-base heavy pressure timing. He's got good upgrades though. His bio barracks production is 5 racks, 4 reactors, and 1 tech lab, which is also still making Marines. It's just pure Marines. Marine tank is what this guy's going for in medevac. So it's really just a high production, slow economy Terran versus a gradual production, high economy Terran. We're gradually increasing our production as we increase our economy. That's what we're doing. So we're ideally what that means is we're going to be defending. And then if we fast forward it again, the supply should start increasing for us a bit faster. And there you go. You can see the supply is starting to spread a bit more now. We have max, our max supply is already there. His max supply is not there yet, so he has to spend more money doing that. And our supply is now 29 above his. So we're increasing at a really rapid rate now because we have such good, you know, everything is going really well for our build right now. Pretty much the upgrades are kind of done now. We don't need to invest any more money into supply other than building orbital commands. And we have now made all the factories we want to make for the initial max out. And then once we max, then we'll add on way more factories after that. And then I'm going to pause one more time and say one more thing. The big way you're going to realize too, as well, is also D-Man. I don't have build order for this, by the way. Sorry, I should have answered you earlier. There is no actual legit just like, this is the build every game. The build changes. Just to show you what I mean, just watch some of my games and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not always the exact same thing. And if you really want the build, you can just go back and watch all of my previous ones, and it's just get it that way, more or less. Because I don't have a build written down for you, is what I'm trying to tell you. It alters a little bit every time if something happens and someone does something different, because I might react to it a little differently. It's reactionary play. That's what macro play is, more or less. The best way I can tell you, if you want to have the build, go watch the bronze Terran, because it is what I'm doing right here. But the build never changes in bronze.
Oh,
because it doesn't need to. Because in bronze, it's just fucking, it is what it is. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's going to work every time because this build out macros the fuck out of anyone in bronze. Yo, hamster for sale. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate the prime, dude. Much love. Anyways, what was I saying? The big way you're going to see the difference in this build is the Remax. He might keep up with me a bit up to the first max, but I guarantee after the max, after we take a fight, his supply is going to plummet, mine will plummet, but mine will remax really fast and his will not. That's when you're going to notice the difference. Because he doesn't have a foundation to prepare for late game. This is kind of just like, this is what it is. This is kind of the way mentally, this is the way I see someone who all-ins. His build is not very efficient. Watch this fight. This fight is huge. His supply is going to drop huge. My supply is going to drop a bit. I'll max again. And he'll probably, after this fight's over, he'll probably be sitting on like 140. Okay? Just watch this. Look at my supply. We're making units as they're dying. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So the fight's all over. We're once again maxed, and he's actually a little bit lower than I thought he was. He's at 123. But that's my point. Like, he doesn't, the build he's using is like, if we both just like fucking basically, it's like, imagine it's two guys, okay? Two really buff dudes. They both grab each other behind the head, and they just smash each other with their fists. They punch each other in the stomach as hard as they fucking can. And both guys are like, ugh! Or something like that. Just two things like colliding really hard, and they both just hit each other super fucking hard. We're recovering really fast. We're like, oh, I'm good again. And he's like, I don't know what other analogy to give you, but yeah, you get my point. Like, we have a lot of recovery to our build. His build's recovery is like kind of non-existent. It's really slow. Stop, I can only become so wrecked. I gave a, okay, I don't know, it's a weird analogy, but you get my point. This is how these builds work. This is why it wins so often in these leagues. It's because that's the best word I can give you guys. It's recovery. Are the dudes naked? Of course. And that's why he loses right now. We both took a fight. He lost a lot more resources than me, by the way. But we both took a fight, and this guy probably, honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. The way this guy probably looked at this game and went, oh, this is where I lost. He probably thought he lost when he fought the planetary, and he's like, oh, I didn't break the planetary. I lost a bit of Marines, and I'm dead. That's probably what if I could guess how this guy's thinking right now, that's probably how he's summing it up. He's like, well, fuck it. I shouldn't engage a planetary like that next time. I'll just make sure there's, if I engage a planetary, there won't be an army near it. It wouldn't matter though. Like that's logical. A logical way to think about something, but that's a very basic way to think about something. And I bet that's, I honestly, if I had to guess, I bet that's probably what he's thinking. But here's what would happen. If he didn't fight me here, and instead he fought me right here, a little bit outside of the base, my army wouldn't have traded as good as it would have, but I have enough factories that I could have easily remaxed even if I would have lost 3 times the amount of units that I lost here. I was only utilizing about 30% of my fucking factories while we fought here because I didn't lose that much. Because it was actually a really good fight for me because the planetary helped a lot. But if we fought in the open, I still win that fight because my comp is stronger than his because we have more supply than him. Because we're just, it's like we're Zerg again at that point. It's a good way to look at it. We're just overwhelming him. And we're going to overwhelm him either way. But we might take more we're guaranteed we'll take more losses if a planetary is not helping us out. But I can still remax no matter what. I'm still going to remax. And he's still going to be in the position where he's fighting a maxed out army with low supply. Because he doesn't have remax potential. This is it. You cannot remax on fucking 5 barracks, guys. This is 9 supply right here. Because he's making Marines. 9 supply. 9 supply. 9 supply. 9 supply. And then he has 3 starports. Which is literally making Vikings, which are worthless at this point. The Vikings are going to do absolutely nothing. But let's just pretend... let's pretend that it was only 1 starport making medevacs. And let's say that this was all barracks, okay? And they're all reactors and 1 tech lab. Instead of 9 supply, now this is 13 supply. 13 supply. That's still fucking terrible. 13 supply. It's good while you're building up your economy, but it's not good when you're maxed. What we have right here with ours, the reactors alone, okay? Just the ones with R on it, which is 4 of them. This is 8 supply. Where is it? No, it's not. It's fucking 16 supply. My bad. Sorry. Jesus. It's 16 supply because it's 4 supply per reactor production. So 16 supply. 16 supply. Just my reactors alone, I'm producing more than all of his barracks combined. Even if he had more barracks than he does. 16 supply per round on my reactors. And if I look at my tech labs, we have 10 tech labs, guys, and each store is worth 6 supply. This is 60 supply. 60 supply. Every time we fill it up, it's 60 supply. So altogether, we have 76 supply being made. It's 8, not 16. What are you talking about? It's 2 supply per Hellion, and it's 4 supply per reactor. So it is 16. 4, 8, 12, 16. Our supply remax potential is way higher than his. That's why we won. That's why we're winning these games. To Mordor. To Mordor. Quick maths. It's all about. I hope you guys that are actually enjoying the series and you're embracing the information and you're absorbing as much as you can. I hope you're on the same page as me with how I am looking at how to play StarCraft at lower leagues. Macro never ends. And every time I've we're going to go harken back here for a second to something I said before about like an hour ago. Every time I've coached someone and they're like fucking bronze, or not bronze. I don't think I've ever coached anyone bronze. They're like gold league. And I asked them a question. I'm like, so how good do you think you are? Or like, what do you want to focus on? Because I like to let them be in charge of their own coaching lesson. Yeah. Back then. Yo, One Asian, thank you very much for the 4-month sub, dude. I appreciate it. Welcome back for the 4, dude. I would ask them a question. How you know, like, where do you see yourself right now? Like, what would you rate yourself? Whatever, blah blah blah. I want them to describe what they want, and they would say things like, "Oh, my macro's really good," but whatever other reasons, you know, other things I want to look at, like my macro needs work. My macro's good though, and then I'll watch the macro, and they'll do this is what they think good macro is, which is why good is a relative word, because their good is definitely not my good. Them being like, my macro's good, it would be like this. They would have 15 out of 16 SCVs on the main, 2 out of 3 on this gas, 3 out of 3 on this gas, and then this gas would have, or this mineral line would have 12 out of 16, and then one gas would have 3 on it, and the other gas would have 1 out of 3 on it. And then they would just stop. They would just stop macro. They would stop. No more SCVs would be made the whole game. That's it. And they make like the last guy. They make like 5 barracks, a starport, and a factory, and they just make Marines. And they're like, I really just feel like I would be winning these games if I could really improve my micro. It's like, dude, what the fuck is this? Is this a joke? Okay, I never said that. I'm really nice about how I talk to people. But you get my point. It's like, no, that's not fucking good macro, dude. That is completely not good macro. What the fuck is this? But yeah, you guys get my point.
Command center upgrade complete.
That's not what I would describe as good macro.
Roger. By the number. SCV ready.
Our SCVs are under attack.
All right, factory tech lab. He's going cyclones probably.
Our SCVs are
Probably
under
going
attack.
cyclones.
SCV ready.
How did you get your account to bronze? I bought a new account.
Ready.
I paid $15 to buy the campaign on a new account, and I started in bronze because I threw my placement matches and I was just bronze 3 automatically.
SCV ready. Been waiting.
Add-on complete.
What rank am I now? My Terran's about to be Plat 1. This Plat 2 to Plat 1 has taken a little while. I think it's because I lost one game.
In the rear with the gear. SCV ready.
Command center upgrade complete.
SCV ready. Huh? Yo. SCV ready. SCV ready.
All right, blind turrets, because once again we don't know exactly what he's doing.
Ready to roll out.
This could be cyclones, and if it is, this tank will do some serious damage.
SCV
Did Blizzard
ready.
charge you twice? Honestly, I didn't even check. I don't even know. I've been so busy. That's something I totally forgot about. Like, my days have been making these during the day with Twitch, and then when Twitch is over and I turn my stream off, I go back to my channel and I clip all of the fucking videos.
SCV ready.
I've made about like 30 videos over the past 2 days.
SCV ready.
So it's been very busy. And then when I'm done making videos, I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed now because I gotta wake up and stream again. It's been very busy for me.
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready. Yeah. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Okay, so we're getting dropped right now.
SCV ready.
Just unsiege my tanks and aim move them
Command
towards
center.
the Marines here.
SCV ready. Got no patience. Ready to roll. SCV ready.
Oh, yeah.
SCV ready. Let's roll. Ah, it's here. SCV ready.
Yo, anonymous gifter gave Mark
SCV ready.
Sikiria. I don't think I'm saying that right.
Overtime. What's our target?
Oh, what up, Mark? How you doing, dude?
What's that?
Welcome to the VFam, my dude. Welcome.
What's going on? SCV ready.
Welcome. And then, don't worry, man. You'll get there. Your bronze GM, it'll get there. I promise. I have confidence in you. Nice. We can send our tanks over here again. That was freaking sweet. Why don't you go random? I did random last time. I'm doing all 3 races. So here's the thing. If I go random, a lot of times I don't get the race people want to see. Like, because random is random. Sometimes I get, let's say someone wants to see Zerg. But I get 10 games in a row where I just don't get Zerg. And I get promoted once or twice. And then people go, ViBE, I really wish I could have seen some fucking Zerg in Gold 3 or whatever, you know? People wanted to see something specific. But I didn't give it to them because I just couldn't. Because I was random. So now if I say, guys, I'm gonna do a Bronze Jam series. We're honestly, dude, I'm not focusing on this game at all, by the way. We need to probably pull my head out of my ass right now and try a little harder here. I think I might lose this game due to just not paying attention. People like specific races more than random. That's all I can tell you, okay? That's all I can tell you.
Upgrade complete. Base is under attack.
Still making SCVs. Still making all of our units, guys.
Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
Okay, so this guy, if you're in a game and you're like, my opponent really likes to drop me over and over and over, just fucking do yourself a favor and do this. Go full of Villo on this guy and just turret ring the side of your base. You'll be like, my god, my life is so much more convenient now afterwards. Okay, let's pull our SCVs and let's go. We're A-moving. Okay. We're gonna send our SCVs back now because he ran away.
I'm in a heap of trouble. Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready. I am here. Click me. Bad news. Big job.
Mineral field.
SCV ready.
But yeah, if this guy continues to drop me,
Base is under attack.
it will not be nearly as annoying now because I have a turret ring in my base that will
Research complete.
catch the medevacs.
Upgrade complete.
Alright, we're going 2-2. And this Terran player,
Add-on.
so you guys might be thinking, ViBE, dude, you're getting kind of fucked up right now. And that's a possibility. There's a chance that this guy actually has fucking terrible macro while trying to micro. A lot of times in leagues like this, they do. So even though it looks like I've taken a lot of damage, I might still be ahead in supply. Because this guy just doesn't macro. It's very possible. We'll find that out very soon if we get steamrolled or not. But games like this, what's happening, where it's like really all over the place, this will be how the game kind of looks more and more as we get higher league, but we'll also be the one doing pressure to our opponent. In like Diamond League and Master League and stuff like that. We'll be doing more aggressive builds.
SCV ready.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, so we're kind of just like chilling still. We're not really pushing. We're still making, our priority here is still to make SCVs.
What's going on?
God, I'm survival locking so many times.
We here.
I don't have like my CCs.
Give us your best shot.
Give us your best shot.
In the rear. Ready to raise some hell. Ah! You scared me. Big job, huh?
Are you going to smack? Oh no, he scanned my base for an expansion.
Bad news. Go ahead. SCV ready. Jordan.
There we go. There he is. Let's go ahead and make Hellbats now because he's got a lot of tanks and Marauder. They're 100% A-moving him right now. Not the most efficient. Not the most efficient, but this is macro. This is the power of macro, guys.
Upgrade complete.
We still won that fight because we just had literally more than he did.
SCV ready. Ready to raise some hell. Ready to raise some hell. Need something? What's that?
We're almost there on full saturation. We're so close.
What's going on?
We got
Command
3-3 on the
center.
way.
Mineral field base is under
He's
attack.
attacking me again. Once again, Hellbat mode. And we'll A-move it.
It's heat.
All I did was go Hellbat mode, and I A-moved towards his army. Okay, no. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is the kind of player that just doesn't fucking macro when he fucking attacks. Yo,
Mineral field depleted.
Jos Metadi. I probably didn't say your name very right. Jos Metadi. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the VFam, my dude. Thank you very much, man. So, it looked like we took a lot of damage, right? He was dropping me, killed some SCVs, did some damage. We're just like, oh god. He killed SCVs that were rotating over here to go to my third. It looked crazy, right? It looked like we were taking. It looked like he was kicking us in the nuts over and over. It didn't look very, very good. But let's look at the supply. Let's look at the supply before we just killed his last army. This is before he hits me. He's going really hard and like trying to break me. So I'm just gonna kill you, bro. I'm gonna kill you. Oh god. Well, he's down by 60 supply. So, and guys, this guy went bio. This is gonna be, I feel like, your average. Like this is a guy I would say is on the better end as well in platinum. This is one of your better platinum bio Terrans. He makes things a little bit annoying in the beginning because you're like, oh god, okay, let's unsiege, let's go here. He's dropping my base. But now I added in some turrets because he did it for like 3 times or 2 times this game. So I was like, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you again. Fool me thrice. Nope, not gonna happen because I got missile turrets. That's how the saying goes. I know it is, but but yeah, we just focused as much as we could on being like, let's macro, try not to mess it up, and yeah, that's what happens. We just have this massive lead. We have a 60 supply lead right now, and that was that army was like. There's like a marauder in the front. Tank, get in position. Marines, get in position. Medivacs, cover us. And then just like big ass. They're expecting like 2 Thors and like 5 Hellions and maybe a tank to come out. And like the boys come out where I have 9 Thors and we're all just like, oh shit, this is a big mistake. We're fucked. That was like a little ragtag force versus like a death ball. Platinum 1.